Hey everyone, this is another update for places to go for our BioBlitz next week. With this video, I want to focus on some of the out-of-town places. Not all of these are accessible for the BioBlitz, so we have some instructions for you which places you can visit and what the rules are for visiting them. Please make sure that you follow these guidelines so that we don't get in trouble for trespassing. So for example, the ASU lake where the water treatment plant is all fenced off and not really accessible for people. Another place that's somewhat tricky to access without trespassing on private property is the Gilly Field Station up here near Todd. This is a place that is probably best accessed as part of a faculty-led research or class trip, but at this point in time we do not have faculty available to lead a trip over there for next week. So unless you're already familiar with how to navigate that area, we do not recommend visiting that place at this point. Hopefully we'll have something set up for a spring BioBlitz if we do this again. Now one place on here that's fair game for the BioBlitz because it's public access is Payne Ranch Park off of 321 Blowing Rock Road. This little park is part of the Middle Fork Greenway project that will eventually connect the towns of Boone and Blowing Rock with a hiking trail. There used to be a hydroelectric power plant here and a dam that has since been removed, so what you have here is basically a restored riparian zone along the river. It's located just 5 minutes out of town and getting there is fairly straightforward. You just drive south on Blowing Rock Road, and then after about a mile, turn right onto Payne Ranch Road. And then parking will be located just off the road on the right side. Now there's not a lot of parking spots here, so if you want to take a larger group, I would recommend carpooling. And please make sure you're parked off the road so you're not blocking traffic. And as you return back to Boone, be careful at this left turn back onto 321. This can be tricky, especially if there's heavy traffic. Another place you can visit for the BioBlitz is Camp Broadstone near Valle Crucis. This is a place that's typically not publicly accessible because it's rented out for events and such, but we do have permission to go there with a couple of guidelines in place. If you go, please visit Monday through Friday. There might be weekend events going on. And please stay on the lower field for your BioBlitz observations. Do not get up on the hill and walk around the cabins and the lodge. Getting here involves going out of town on 105 South towards Linville, and then taking a right turn at the traffic light towards Valle Crucis onto Broadstone Road. And then after about a mile, you can pull off to the right to park on the side of the road there to access the lower field. If you go too far, you'll see that sign for Camp Broadstone and the street going up to the lodge on the left side. Just turn around there and go back to the parking for the lower field. Again, there are not a lot of parking spots here, so if you want to go as a larger group, I would recommend carpooling. In terms of habitat here, we have another riparian zone along the Watauga River and edge habitat between meadow and forest. So this looks like a great spot, for example, for birding. Another place we have permission to go to is the ASU Farm out here in Fleetwood. Now this is an active farm. There's actually farming going on with equipment, people, animals running around, as well as teaching. There are classes happening here. So they would happily welcome people there for the BioBlitz, but they need to know when you're coming. So before you go, please email the farm director to schedule your visit. And we have a PDF with the directions how to get here and who to contact posted on the BioBlitz website. This is one of the places, if you want to go there, beware that GPS might send you the wrong way. They do not want people driving through the farm. So you should be coming up on Water Tank Road and then take a right turn onto the farm. So take 421 south from Boone towards Wilkesboro, and then take the ramp onto 221 towards West Jefferson, and after approximately 6 miles, turn right onto Water Tank Road. Do not turn before Water Tank Road, even if your GPS tells you to do that. And then you go just less than half of a mile and turn right onto the first gravel driveway. Watch for the fall color decoration with the mountaineer flag, and that tells you where to turn. And then stay straight on that driveway until you get to the gate and enter the farm. They ask that people please park right there at the entrance. There's a couple of porta potties there and a couple of spots where you can pull the car off the road. Now, as I said, this is an active farm. It's run by the Sustainable Development Department, and there are classes going on there. For those of you who are interested in sustainable and organic farming practices, this might be a great opportunity to connect with a few folks and maybe even find out about volunteer opportunities at the farm. Now, because there is actually work and classes going on, they need to know when you're coming. So please email the farm director if you want to visit, and plan for regular work times during weekdays so that somebody can be out there to meet and greet you. Again, park just inside the gate. Do not drive through the farm area. Do not block any of the work areas. And for liability and safety reasons, there needs to be a staff member present when you're exploring the farm for the BioBlitz. If you prefer to join a group rather than go on your own, we will have some people out there at the farm on Friday morning. The dendrology class is planning to visit at 10:15 on Friday morning, and I'll be there as well to answer any questions or help you find stuff to observe for any people who are not part of that class. The final place we have permission to visit is the ASU Dark Sky Observatory right off the parkway at Phillips Gap. This is a little out there, but you'll be able to find this place following GPS directions on your phone. You would start out on 421 South, like for the farm, but then instead of getting on 221, go past the overpass and right before the bridge, take the exit to the Blue Ridge Parkway. You want to take a left turn to go north on the parkway. And after about 7 miles, then take a right turn onto Phillips Gap Road. For those of you watching mileposts, this would be coming up after milepost 270. And it's actually not the gravel road right across from the left turn for Phillips Gap, but the next one on the right side. After about 1.5 miles on that gravel road, you get to Observatory Road on the left side. Now you'll encounter a gate right there blocking access to the observatory. So during the week you can park at the gate and walk up to the observatory. Now make sure you're not blocking the gate. Stay off the road to the side so that the astronomers who need to access the equipment up there at the observatory still have access. They typically need to come in there around sunset to calibrate the instruments at the observatory. We do have permission from the observatory director to go up there and explore the area for the BioBlitz, but not everybody in the physics department might know about this. So if you're running into any of the astronomers up there and they're questioning what you're doing out there, just explain about the BioBlitz and tell them that we've asked for and received permission to be there. Now obviously roadside parking is again limited, so I would recommend carpooling if you're going in a group. If you're going on your own, be aware that there are actually bears still active in this area. When I was checking out the GPS directions, I actually had a bear running across the road in front of me. So you might want to read up on bear safety before you go, especially if you're planning to be out there by yourself. You can find guidelines online. For example, the Blue Ridge Parkway has a webpage on bear safety. If you don't feel comfortable being out there by yourself, we will have a couple of people up there on Saturday afternoon if you want to join a group. We'll have a key to open the gate on Saturday from 1 to 4 p.m. so you can drive up there and park at the observatory to explore the area. So if you're looking for a way to escape the traffic in town with a football game on Saturday, come up on the parkway and join us at the observatory. If you're also interested in seeing the telescope in action and do some observations of the night sky, there is going to be a public night event at the Dark Sky Observatory following our BioBlitz. Now these are ticketed events, so if you're interested in this, go to the Dark Sky Observatory website to make reservations. In terms of habitat and what to observe there, this is again going to be a great place for forest edge between a moat opening and trees on the edge of the forest. So it looks like another great place for birding, and you also have the surrounding forest areas. Remember, you can explore and observe along the entire stretch of the road leading up to the observatory. So that's basically the overview of all the places you can go outside of town that will count for the BioBlitz. Again, there's public access at Payne Branch Park. We have permission to visit Camp Broadstone. Remember to stay on the lower field Monday through Friday. You can schedule a visit to the ASU Farm up here in Fleetwood, again Monday through Friday, or join the group on Friday morning. And lastly, you can explore the area around the Dark Sky Observatory off the parkway, or join us there on Saturday afternoon.